Welcome to the Freedom Revolution. It is time we reject the status quo and return to the rule of law and the Constitution. The people are ready for it, and we're ready to go to work. Our problems are great, but the solutions are not complicated. We got into this mess mainly because we lost respect for the Constitution and we lost our faith that freedom really works. And it isn't complicated to solve the many problems. Our civil liberties are being attacked. Our economy has been undermined, our dollar has been virtually destroyed, and we have a foreign policy that is devastating to the people of this country, and these things have to change. We have complained about the last several years, and we have complained about what has happened since 9/11, and a lot has happened. Unfortunately, as they say, everything changed on 9/11, but tragically, it has been changed in the wrong direction. Yeah. The real truth is that our rule of law and our Constitution has been undermined for quite a few decades. It hasn't been just this administration. It has been by many, many individuals involved in our government and involved in the status quo for many, many years. Our foreign policy has not just been undermined recently. Our foreign policy has been undermined especially since Woodrow Wilson and World War I and devastating ever since. This whole notion that we have a moral and a constitutional responsibility to go about the world and make the world safe for democracy, that vision, that idea has to be rejected. Those who would use force to spread our goodness have it all wrong. Yes. America does have some greatness to it. We've had a great Constitution. And there are easy ways to spread this message. And that is by setting a good example and following the law here in this country. Just yesterday there was a headline in one of the newspapers, and it said that the American government over in Iraq has now set up a database for all Iraqis with biometrics and fingerprints so that they can watch everybody in that country. Yeah. I guess that's what they have in mind when they want to spread America around the world. What we need to do is reject that notion and make sure we never get a national ID card in this country. It's been said that war is the health of the state, and those who like a large government and a large state presence aren't too dissatisfied with having wars now and then or continuously. We are being told now that this war against terrorism, which is rather vague and non-definable on purpose, that it's going to last a long, long time. So the war conditions motivate too many to be complacent to say that under war conditions we have to give up our liberties. And I say no, we do not have to give up our liberties under any conditions. The message we have to spread is to convince the American people that the freer we are, the safer we are. Yes. It's easy to understand that if we had a lot more respect for the Second Amendment, this would be a much safer country. Maybe you've we had had a few guns on certain airplanes on 9/11, 9/11 might not have occurred. But we have created, our country has given to us conditions overseas that are unsustainable. They're unsustainable financially, they're unsustainable financially as well as morally and constitutionally. And we have no right, no matter what the motivations are, good or bad, for us to impose our will on other people around the world, because it always backfires on us. So my solution for Iraq is not complicated. I had a speech not too long ago on the House floor, and I tried to simplify it, and I said, we just marched in, we can just march out. It is said that if we leave, there will be chaos in Iraq. Of course, we don't know exactly what will happen immediately afterward. There may be a bump up, or there may be a dramatic reduction of the chaos. But let me tell you, if there is some chaos after we leave, do we blame ourselves for leaving, or do we blame those who put us over there in the first place? You know, in the year 2000, the Republican Party won the presidency on a foreign policy that said we should not be involved in nation building, we should not police the world, and we should have a humble foreign policy. Makes a lot of sense. But unfortunately, the American people were deceived. We do not have a humble foreign policy, and we do not have the authority to do what we're doing. So the sooner we wake up and realize not only do we need to get out of Iraq, we need to stop intimidating the whole Middle East and stop preparing for the next war in Iran.
That's right.
You know, for our high respect in regards for the Constitution, a president should not be a dictator. And a president should not do things in an improper manner. But there are certain things that a president can do properly. If you take signing statements, we don't need to sign statements. We just need to veto those bills. And we don't need executive orders other than those that are properly permitted under the Constitution. But a commander-in-chief who's really looking after the interest of America could very well move the troops around. So we could immediately withdraw our troops without congressional approval, and we certainly could back our Navy away from the shores of Iran, and I think that would do tremendously to restore some respectability and peace in the world. Not only that, if we could get to the point where we resume the foreign policy of the founders of minding our own business, you know, there's a side benefit to all this. Not only would we be much stronger and have a stronger military and have a stronger defense, just think of the money we could save. We could save literally hundreds of billions of dollars, and we might even have an extra benefit thrown in, like the bankruptcy of the military-industrial complex. The one thing we have to do is we have to address foreign policy as a nation, because it allows us the practical political opportunity to have a plan to get us out of this mess. Because as true constitutionalists, there's many welfare programs that we really can't endorse. But we have conditioned generation after generation to be dependent on the government. So the last thing we need to do is say, well, the first thing we're going to do is cut Medicare. We don't need to do that, and we don't need to close down Social Security. But we could develop a transitional program by saying, let the young people get out. If they don't want to join the Social Security system, they don't have to.